Yo, what is going on, guys? Tony here, coming back at you with another video, and this video we're going back to something that I used to do pretty consistently, and that is the Kensei Advanced Matchup Guide. I kind of put this on the back burner once Season 2 came out, and there was a bunch more new content that I could create within the game itself, and I don't know, I had other video ideas in my head, and I just didn't get around to making any matchup videos. But this one, we're going to tackle one of the two new DLC characters, and that's going to be the Centurion. Everybody fucking loves to fight against him. I know. Him and Shinobi both. They're both very strong. But personally, I think that Centurion is not as strong in duels and 2v2s than he is in 4v4s. 4v4s is where he really shines. But you can honestly do a lot of things to mitigate him in duels and whatnot. And hopefully I'll be able to show you that today. So, looking at our boy the Centurion, we'll start off with some of the basic things that you should always look for against the Centurion. One is that he gets the like grab guard break after a light attack. So if you light attack then hit guard break, there's no like actual like guard break animation like that. So sometimes you have to be on your game in order to actually be able to counter that. So with this, then he can, you know, be near a wall, throw you into the wall, and go for his unblockable and then the full jab punch and whatnot. So I could show you something how that looks. He throw you into the wall, kind of like that. So since he gets the full charge heavy on you, you end up being able to take that full jab. Now, in addition to this, he has his kick. Now, there's I guess really three things that, actually four. We'll go with four things that Centurions will usually do after their kick. So one is just a kick into a light attack. Right there, that's confirmed. One is a kick into a heavy. So like that. It's hard to block and react to, but you can still do it. The next would be the kick into the unblockable. Right, that, and then from that you can follow up into your jab, like so. And then the next one is actually going to be the kick into the unblockable soft feint into GB. So that looks like this. And then you can start a combo off again right there. That's one of Centurion's main mix-up tools, is the fact that he has his two forms of heavy attacks. He has just a straight heavy like this, but then he can also charge right there, so it does more damage. But any heavy attack, he can be charging and then hit the guard break button, and it'll go immediately into a guard break right there. And it's very hard to keep your opponent guessing if they're being aggressive on you. Just going through this, you know, mixing you up like crazy. So that's one thing that you really do need to look out for. Another thing with the Centurion that's obviously really prevalent, I'm sure you guys have experienced it, is the out of stand punish. You know, you do a kick, you know, you grab somebody, you hit them a few times, you throw them into a thing, keep kicking them, you know, they're out of stamina, right? So one thing I noticed with Centurions, you know, being out of stamina, not all like super great Centurions, but a lot of them will pretend this bot's out of stamina. The moveset they'll go to is they'll try a kick, and if you dodge it, then they'll dash forward and then go for a guard break. And if you're able to sidestep that as well or counter guard break it, they'll go back for a kick again. So it's kick, GB, kick. That happens quite frequently, I've noticed with them. A lot of them are pretty predictable in their mix-ups, but if you play some of the higher ranked players, you're not always going to get that. So one thing I guess I'm going to talk about is some of Centurion's actual flaws. So the first flaw is his guard stance switch is actually very slow. So that's something that you guys can be able to take advantage of. You know, it doesn't switch that quickly. It seems like it would be pretty easy to actually just switch this little sword from hand to hand, but it's actually a lot slower than you would think. In addition to this, his feinting prowess is not that great. Say you're throwing out a quick feint like with Kensei. You know, he goes in and then throws out a heavy right there. It's like insane to actually be able to feint it. You actually have to, you know, charge it up in order to feint it, and sometimes that can leave you open for other mix-ups and whatnot. So a lot of the times, you know, you see that attack coming out, you want to try to parry it. By the time you realize that it's a feint, it's too late, and, you know, somebody mixed you up and you got to parry off of it. So that's another thing that you can take advantage of with Centurion. The final thing that I think is Centurion's weakness is his range. Obviously, if I'm like right here, I can do like a charge up right heavy right there, but if you're getting hit by that, then I don't know, that's you probably just need to work on your timing and whatnot. But he does need to be like super close. Like I can't hit a light from there. It's got to be up in their grill. That's what they wanted with the Centurion, is for you to be up close and personal with your opponent. So if you can take advantage by spacing yourself out, maybe going for a couple bit of poke attacks and whatnot, that should be good for you. Now, as for overall gameplay, in addition to keeping your distance, is you don't want to be up against that wall. I know they kind of patched like the 100-0 wall combo thing, but regardless, you can still get a good amount of fucking damage off on them. So I can just show you kind of here with the bot. Let's say I throw him into the wall, and then I can keep going, kind of like that. They kind of, you know, ricochet off the wall right there, but you guys get the point. You can get a lot of good combo chains starting off with that and whatnot, and they can try to do a lot of mix-ups to you, like going for a guard break if off the dash or whatnot. It's pretty difficult for you to actually be able to sidestep it. You just gotta have good reactions and be patient while obviously kind of baiting. You got to be a patient baiter, patient baiter. So yeah, that's kind of like the main like gameplay things that I think with Centurion is bringing to the table as far as duels go. And it's a lot harder in 4v4s because, you know, you could be in a fight with somebody and all of a sudden you're getting attacked by them, and then an unblockable comes through, and yet the timing is weird on it at first, but you're going to end up getting hit by that unblockable, you know, at least once or twice in the game, and then it's going to be annoying because you're going to be stunned, and when you're stunned, they're going to be able to get attacks on you, and then they're going to knock you down and be able to get attacks on you, so it's pretty crazy. So I'll hop into some actual gameplay of some stuff that I think you need to do against the Centurion in order to become successful in it. I did a lot of duels against Centurion, obviously, so I think that it's better to just show you actual gameplay footage instead of going in with a bot. So the first step, obviously, I kind of mentioned it a little bit earlier, was to keep your distance. Now, Kensei actually has extremely long light attack range for like openers and whatnot. So if you keep a good distance between them, throw out maybe like side lights, which is what I like to do. That's probably the furthest attack that goes through, and it's quicker than the side right, it seems. Then you should be able to get decent chip damage, and then once you're close up to them after hitting that first attack, you can go into different mix-ups and whatnot and try to bait them or go for combos. And it's good if you're ever like out of stamina, just try to get back, reset, keep that distance away from the Centurion, and you should actually have a pretty decent time against them. The second thing against the Centurion is going to be patient. Obviously, they have a lot of different mix-ups with their heavy attacks, with the unblockable, with the guard break, soft feint from the heavy. So you don't want to be too anxious about getting a parry off or any of this stuff. You want to be able to react. If you see that they're charging up fully with the unblockable, you can be sure to go for the parry on that. But if it's still charging, don't try to time the parry correctly or something with the heavy. They could go for the guard break and then catch you out and do a big ass combo to you. So you really need to be patient against the Centurion's attacks because they come at all different speeds. And once you are able to like master like the timing from all of the attacks and kind of feel out what the opponent's going to do, you should have a pretty good time against them. And now the third thing to do is be the aggressor. Now, what I mean by be the aggressor is don't keep throwing attacks out willy-nilly. They'll eventually parry you, obviously, but the Centurion main goal is to be an aggressive character, throwing, kick you, punch you, stab you, all that stuff. So what I love to do personally is to go in, go for attacks, and then just feint top. That's what I do a lot. Feint top, feint to the side, anything like that. Like I said earlier, the parry timing for the Centurion isn't that great because you kind of have to like charge up your heavy in order to feint it. So I've had many times where I just throw out a top feint and they can't react after throwing their top heavy, and then I'm able to just bait out a parry, an easy parry, and then get, you know, a good combo started off or a wall stun unblockable. So you need to be aggressive in that sense, but you don't need to actually confirm all of your attacks. It's good to just, you know, throw out an attack and just wait for them to try to make a reaction to parry. If they're not doing it, then you can try to just let a few ride through. Just it's all about your opponent and who you're facing. Always feel them out the first round, as I do say. But yeah, that is probably the biggest thing that I've had success with against the Centurion, is trying to seem like I'm being aggressive, but also being more strategic and waiting for those parry opportunities. Well, this has been the Centurion vs. Kensei Advanced matchup video. I hope you guys did enjoy. I'm sorry for the hiatus for this series. I'll get back to it starting next week because I'm out of town currently as we speak. But yeah, if you guys did enjoy, be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, my name is Tony, and I will talk to you in the next video. Peace.